Hey everybody, what's going on? It's Tagoar here, keeping it tanky in Raid Shadow Legends, and today we are back in the Iron Twins with a simple strategy that incorporates not one, not two, but three rare champions. So yeah, let's get into it. First off though, we are going to talk about the Iron Twins kit because I forgot to do that last time. The Iron Twins has a voltaic pendulums. They're A1. Attacks one enemy, places decreased crit rate for 4 turns. Also places weaken if the target is already under decreased crit rate. Will ignore unkillable buffs whenever the Iron Twins' HP is equal to or less than 40%. After attacking the initial target, attacks all other enemies. Places decreased attack for 4 turns. Also places decreased defense for 4 turns on enemies under decreased attack. That is a devastating A1.
Listen up, guys. You can get Elenaril for free, as well as Fayne, Uugo, and Tagoar as you level up. Just click my link in the description. Here's the steps to go about getting yours. Log out of Plarium Play on PC and uninstall. This will not work on mobile unless you are downloading it for the first time. Click the link in the description and register with a brand new email. Launch Raid and complete the tutorial. Go to your inbox and claim your first champ. Don't miss out on your chance to get Elenaril for free, as well as 3 free epics. Just click my link in the description and enjoy this wonderful start to Raid.
The A2 Fires of Insanity attacks all enemies, places or extends Iron Brand debuffs to all enemies. The duration of each Iron Brand debuff given depends on each enemy's defense. The enemy with the highest defense will receive 7 stacks of Iron Brand. The enemy with the next highest will receive 6, and so on and so on. If an enemy already has an Iron Brand debuff, the duration of their current Iron Brand debuff will be extended by this number of turns. Iron Brand cannot be blocked or resisted. Growth effect. Each time this skill is used, the Iron Twins' defense will be increased by 2.5%, plus an additional 1% for every enemy whose affinity does not match the Iron Twin. The Iron Twins will not use this skill when their HP is below 40%. The A3 Ruinous Swath attacks all enemies, places or extends Iron Brand on all enemies. The duration of each Iron Brand debuff given depends on each enemy's attack. The enemy with the highest attack will receive 7 turns of Iron Brand. The enemy with the highest attack will receive 7 turns of Iron Brand, and then it'll decrease by 1 for each subsequent enemy, just like the last skill. Cannot be blocked or removed. Every time this skill is used, the Iron Twins' attack will be increased by 2.5, plus an additional 1 for every enemy whose affinity does not match the Iron Twins. The Iron Twins will not use this skill when their HP is below 40%. Interesting. Then we got the A4 Doomsday Machine attacks all enemies 2 times. Each hit places or extends an Iron Brand debuff. First hit places an Iron Brand debuff whose duration depends on each enemy's defense. The enemy with the highest defense will receive 5 turns of Iron Brand and then decrease by 1, etc. Interesting. The second hit does the same, but the duration of Iron Brand debuff placed depends on each enemy's attack instead. After the first 2 hits, attacks all enemies again. The damage inflicted to each enemy increases according to the number of turns remaining on each enemy's Iron Brand debuffs. The first hit will ignore 30% of each target's defense. Growth effect. Each time this skill is used, the Iron Twins' attack and defense will be increased by 4%, plus an additional 1 for every enemy whose affinity does not match the Iron Twins. He will not use this skill once he is below. Oh no, he will only use this skill when he is below 40%. And then we've got the passive here, Retaliatory Launch. Whenever the Iron Twins' HP drops below 80%, 60%, and 40%, removes all debuffs from the Iron Twins, then instantly attacks all enemies. Fills the Iron Twins' turn meter by 10% whenever an enemy receives a buff. Will not fill their turn meter if the Iron Twins are under decreased speed. Iron Twins receives 50% less damage from each subsequent hit from multi-skills. The damage reduction increases with every additional hit, and the Iron Twins is immune to turn meter reduction effects. Alright, so we know the Iron Twins places Iron Brand like it's going out of style, but what does Iron Brand actually do? The Iron Brand debuff does nothing on its own, but will increase the damage dealt by the Iron Twins Doomsday Machine skill Damage from this skill is increased according to the duration of any Iron Brand debuffs currently active on each champion. The higher the duration of an Iron Brand debuff, the greater the damage that Doomsday Machine will do. Cannot be blocked or removed, but can be resisted. Interesting. So you have to watch the Iron Brand because it increases the damage of this skill right here, which already does a lot of damage on its own. So Iron Twins is no joke. Iron Twins is no joke. But this team that we're going to show trivializes it. And here it is. 2 Pain Keepers, a Cold Heart, Geomancer, the source of damage for this entire team, and Emic Trunkheart. Yes, that's a Void Legendary. However, I believe in theory you could get away with using Sir Nick and replacing one of the Cold Heart with another Pain Keeper. I have not tested this theory, so I do not know, but I will try to do some testing of it in the future. If so, I will make another video showing that team. So let's go in here and look at the preset. We've got Emic set up to do his Trunkheart Sanctuary, which places unkillable on all allies for 2 turns. He is in protection, so that's nice. Also places Taunt and Shield on this champion for 2 turns. Value of the shield is equal to 30% of this champion's max HP. Then we've got Vine Guard, his A2 set up to go next, which is an AoE attack, places shield on all allies equal to 30% of his max HP, decreases the cooldown of all allies skills except this champion's by 1 turn. Up next we got Geo, set him up, don't use that A2, and just worry about the Quicksand Grasp, so that way he can do plenty of damage through his Stone Guard passive. Cold Heart, don't use the Art of Pain, it's not going to be helpful in this situation. We only care about the Heart Seeker because it is enemy max HP damage. Pain Keeper, we have set up here, do her A2, which is an AoE that heals all allies by 15% of this champion's max HP. And then we have her set up to use her combat tactics, her A3, which decreases the cooldown of all ally skills by 1 turn. This skill can have its cooldown reduced by other skills that reduce cooldowns by 1 turn. So they're basically just saying that it will stack with each other. Alright, with that being said, you've seen the preset, so let's go in and show you what a run looks like. And it's on Void today, so that's actually really good because Geomancer is the only non-Void on this team, so we will not be stacking up near as much stats for the Iron Twin. So see, Geomancer is really the key to this situation because he's the one dealing damage. Well, actually, everybody's important because if it weren't for any of these people on this team except for Cold Heart, this team wouldn't work because Emic has to cycle through his unkillable quick enough to not die to the Iron Twins. I think if you got the speed tune right, you could realistically use any nuker instead of the Cold Heart's just an easy one to build because of how she's set up. And just like that, in a minute, on the dot, a minute, we have taken down the Iron Twins on stage 15, which is as hard as it gets. We'll do another run just so you guys can see everything you need to. Throws up the taunt, takes a hit, throws up the burn, does some heals, does a nuke, and then we start to reset to get back to that unkillable skill. There we go. Yep, throws up the fresh unkillable, and just always taking damage from Geo's passive because that burn is always up, keeping those heals going and then cycling back through the reset. It's very simple. And again, there is a possibility that you would be able to stack up another Pain Keeper instead of Emic and then use another unkillable champion like a Sir Nick, which people got over Christmas. So a lot of people should have him. I will be trying that team out at some point, trying to get the speed tunes right and whatnot, so I can deliver that to you guys. The only thing we have left to look at here are the stats. So for Emic, we've got him built in 6-piece protection. For his stats, we've got him just shy of 100k HP, call it 3.5k defense, 271 speed, and 430 resistance. Okay, we've got him with no relic, awakened with 1-star brimstone, and has War Master, but he hasn't even finished his masteries. Though realistically, he probably doesn't even need them. Geomancer, we've got built in 2 perception sets and a random stone piece set that just gives them a little bit more HP. For the stats, we're looking at 56k HP, 3.1k attack. That doesn't really matter though, because he does damage through his passive, which means you only want him to have as much HP, speed, and accuracy as possible. Typically, but for today's purpose, we are running him at 253 speed in order to make sure he goes after Emic throws up the unkillable. And then he has 542 accuracy. This guy is not getting resisted in PvE unless it is 3%ed. We've got him awakened with 3-star Phantom Touch, just some extra damage. And then we went down and we grabbed War Master. For Coldheart, we are looking at no banner, surprisingly. She is built in a speed set and 1 piece of stone skin. Again, just a random piece. I don't know if that lack of a banner is intentional or not, to be quite frank. We've got her built with 38k HP, 3.3k attack, 198 speed, so we have her running very slow. But again, she is only there for the purpose of doing damage. And then 75% crit rate, 308% crit damage. And she doesn't need any accuracy for this use case. No relic, 4-star hero soul, so she's just doing extra damage to bosses, 1% for each enemy, so 1%. And then went down and grabbed War Master, although she goes in with giants. She should go with Giant Slayer. I might change that at some point. But she also does pretty much exclusively doing her Heartseeker, so that's 1 hit, so it doesn't really matter. And then for the Pain Keepers, alright, they are built in. 1 is built in 2-piece stone skin, speed, and 2-piece protection. She's got 80k HP, 2.7k defense, 250 speed, and 437 resistance. No relic, 4-star miracle heal, and War Master. Then the other is built in triple speed, running at 247, so just behind the other one. I mean, the HP doesn't really matter. The more HP they have, the more damage they'll take, and the more damage they'll take, the better Geo's passive works, though. So keep that in mind. 29k HP, 1.6k defense, 247 speed, and not putting any effort into resistance over here. No masteries yet on this one, and while she does have a 4-star soul, I have not chosen a blessing for her yet. So there you go, guys. That's the team. Hopefully that helps you out. I mean, it's 3 rares and an epic. Plus, I mean, yes, it's a void legendary, but again, we're going to try to build it to a more accessible level and try to use 3 rares and epic and a recently obtainable void legendary. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I will see you all in another video. Stay happy and healthy, and stay tanky.